The reason you like James Gunn's movies so much, I really don't know why I like his Superman movies so much. Maybe the the hypno glasses broke the fourth wall. Maybe that's what happened. Let's find out, guys.
If you know this movie, or this one, or this show,
I do.
Then you're familiar with the work of James Gunn. And you've probably enjoyed it too.
I haven't watched Peacemaker, though.
But why? Well, after researching through his most recent movies and TV shows, I found out the 3 things he does to achieve both a great story and even better characters.
Okay. Now, I have seen many people put patterns, like he always has his little song montage with action and stuff, but what does he do to actually make it fun? Because I'm not really a director guy, and I don't really look into that kind of stuff. I could care less. I just want to see Superman.
James Gunn is an absolute genius when it comes to writing superheroes. And believe it or not, it always starts with a bunch of a-holes. James Gunn knows that to write.
And Superman is not. So why did he do... Because I liked the Superman movie. A lot of people did. The majority of people liked it a lot. I get people telling me all the time, nobody liked that movie. I'm like, the ratings are fantastic. And the ones like Internet Movie Database where it's not as high, there's 1 billion 1 stars, which means it's been review bombed.
A good character, you first need a good introduction. Actually, 2 of them. Let me explain. Instead of getting to write inherently popular characters like Spider-Man or Captain America, his gigs consisted of forming teams composed of unknown characters like the Guardians or the Suicide Squad. So he needed to get creative, and his introductions were no exception. Star Prince, Star-Lord, is first introduced with an emotional scene with his mom that establishes his human background. And a second time as a cool and funny outlaw.
Yeah, that's kind of how Stan Lee works with worked, I should say, with Marvel Comics, was that he always made sure that anybody he wrote, whether they had great power, whatever great power they had a struggle to go along with it. Something like Wolverine, he has this great power, but he can't remember his past or how he got it. Jean Grey, her power is super great, but it has to be blocked in her mind just so that it doesn't destroy her. Rogue, she can take anybody's energy, but she also lives and is haunted with their memories and their thoughts and can hurt them. He did a great job with that.
Every monster in Creature Commandos shows their
Yes, I like X-Men.
Personality throughout
I like Superman the most, and I could live without anything else, but I like X-Men.
The show, while the origin stories are told through each episode. Peacemaker gets a movie where we see a funny asshole who we're happy to see killed.
More proof that I like X-Men. Here's my tiny Gambit. Did you see my tiny Gambit with his bright yellow card?
To later get an entire show that follows his emotional journey of becoming a superhero. Wait, did you notice the pattern? James Gunn almost always introduces the personality and...
Here, I want you to let me know in the comments if you like James Gunn's movies, normally, or is this the Superman one? Is it just one you like out of the other ones that you don't? How do you feel about his movies? The ones that I know I've seen, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Superman, I like them. I don't really know if that's because of him or because of other factors like actors and stuff, but I enjoy him.
Feel of the character separately from his or her backstory.
Okay.
But why? A good character doesn't only have to be interesting because of who he is, but also how he became that way.
Or she. Am I right, ladies?
This is also known as death. And James Gunn has a pretty interesting way of achieving it. Let's play a game, shall we? I'm gonna show you a small clip from a series of characters, and you'll realize how easy it is to define their personality. Cool?
Okay.
Cool. Let's begin.
And?
Yes. I have no clue what you're talking about. Ugly dog and a cake.
What did you say?
When I find out someone murdered an innocent person or did some graffiti and I kill that person, you think that gives me pleasure?
No.
Well, it does.
All right, let's leave it at 3. If you had to...
I've never watched Peacemaker, so that was actually a pretty good example for me to show me what he's talking about. It was like, yeah, I figured him out pretty quick.
Feeling the shark was cute, strong, and dumb all at once.
Bird.
That Lex was an egotistical rage baiter who hates Superman, and that Vigilante is borderline insane.
That's what I'm saying.
Then congratulations, you won a cookie. This also means that James Gunn does a perfect job establishing personality in a short amount of time, even with little dialogue involved.
I am...
Well, that's just as fascinating as...
speaking of fascinating, the fact that Groot was, I loved Groot in the first movie. The first Groot is my favorite Groot. People get all tied up in the cute one. No, this Groot, he had so much emotion behind him, so much heart behind him. And he literally just said the same thing over and over. So you could tell, yeah, he was written really, really well. And the CGI guys made his movements go along with that too.
89 times you told me that.
Funny thing is, 2 out of the 3 scenes occur when we first meet the character, which proves how James Gunn cleverly relies on that first impression to set up the pillars he'll later use to further develop their story. Question is, how does he maintain and build upon this initial interest? Well, it all comes down to a mix of storytelling, character development, and a weird fixation with making even the weirdest creature human.
Yeah,
Take a look at this.
that's true.
In the last 10 years, James Gunn has
Who was the weird creature that was the most human in Superman? I'm trying to think. I'm blanking. I don't know.
had 2 types of jobs. Either write a character that is anything but human,
Okay.
and or work with characters most people have no idea existed. Oh, and on top of that, he needs to make people care about them. How does he do it though? For the first type of job,
Okay.
he's tasked with igniting a sense of humanity in someone who appears completely devoid of it. Whether it's a monster, an alien, or a big fish, Gunn makes sure that we feel that they are just as human as any one of us.
Peacemaker.
Look, Rocket isn't human, but back home, he used to have a family. And
Well, but before we ever saw that weird Guardians of the Galaxy 3 storyline, we felt how human he was. We felt that he was hiding that emotion back down in him. We felt, I mean, I liked Rocket a lot.
losing them is something that us, as humans, can relate to. The weasel might look disgusting, but after you realize he's been convicted of a crime he didn't commit, and that he's just like any other dog with human-like proportions, you immediately think better of him. At least I did. And when Superman, the man who could rule Earth if he wanted to, gets his true purpose and humanity tested, that is where liking a character turns into caring for them.
Okay.
Cool. So James Gunn knows how to write the individual character. Question is, what happens when you have these characters work as a team?
What's it called again?
The Justice Gang.
No.
We're not called that. Yeah, your name is Mr. Terrific. You don't get a vote with a name like that.
The second type of
I like it when they give each other a hard time because in my life, if I'm not giving you a hard time, it's probably because we're not that close. You know what I mean? Like if I'm giving you a hard time, yeah, you know, we're cool.
job is even more interesting, as he's tasked to work with crews of unknown characters that have no business getting along with each other, but
Yep.
they always somehow do.
You know, that's interesting too because my friends have always been very all over the place. I don't have like a certain type of friend, like, you know, those Valley girls that you see in movies and stuff where they're all the same. That's not how I am. And as a matter of fact, whenever we have get-togethers and parties and stuff, sometimes those people don't really, I wouldn't say don't get along, but they don't have much in common because we are with the most unlikely people all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how we've always been.
Because instead of forcing bland characters to work with each other, he plays around with 2 important concepts: contrast and resemblance.
Yeah.
For one,
Okay. Okay. He's starting to say stuff that's getting me to think because I don't really think about directors the way some of you guys do. My brother's a big director guy, so growing up, I watched movies with him like Memento and American Beauty, and I was just scratching my head like, I don't get it. You know, I was just like, I'm not a movie guy, man. I don't get all this director worship stuff. I don't understand it. But this is making sense. This is something that I can kind of understand how he did what he did. Will I be able to utilize it for the next movie he makes? Probably not. I'm not into the stuff like that.
he creates conflict between the characters and their backstories to make them relatable. This is known as contrast. Let's take
Like
Nina
Stan Lee
and the
does.
Bride from Creature
Did.
Commandos as examples. Nina has a sweet and naive personality,
Grow a pair, fish. A pair of what?
making her the only one on the team who has never killed anyone. The Bride, on the other hand, is a heartless monster and has no problem with killing. Quite poetic if you ask me. Putting Nina and the Bride together offers a contrast that makes the story interesting, as their opposing ideals define the plot in many cases. This is also true for pairs such as Rick Flag and Harley Quinn, or Rocket and Groot.
It'll grow back, you dashed idiot. Quit whining.
But what happens when the characters are instead similar to each other?
He does exactly what I do, but better.
This is the concept of resemblance. Take Peacemaker and Bloodsport, two people with almost identical capabilities that
Okay.
constantly
Again, I don't watch this show, so I'm just following along
disagree
here.
with each other. This also leads to conflict, which can either end in rupture or bondage, such as the
was
case
rupture.
with pairs like Nebula and Gamora, Rocket and Peter Quill, or Adebayo and Economos. Contrast and resemblance ensure that the character dynamics are kept interesting, and adding James Gunn's amazing sense of humor
Cut off all his toes, I don't care.
and stellar soundtrack choices makes for extremely fun moments. However, having good characters doesn't always mean making good stories.
That's
which
true.
poses the question, what happens when it's turn for the characters to connect with the story itself? Well,
What happens when it's time for the characters to connect with the story as well?
this is the primary reason as to why James Gunn completely revolutionized the way we write superheroes. And it all has to do with
Do you agree with that? Did James Gunn completely revolutionize the way we write superheroes? Or is he the only one that does the things that he does? I don't know. I don't know, guys.
purpose. One of which includes subscribing to the channel. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks, moving on.
don't forget his link for description. You can find it. Subscribe to me too.
Every James Gunn project can be defined with one word. And there's a reason for this. When writing, Gunn never loses sight of the true purpose of his film or show, whether it's telling a good
What's the one word?
story or building towards something bigger, separating him from every other superhero director out there. Yes, this includes Zack Snyder. Let's talk about Superman. If you
Okay,
ask
finally,
Snyder
guys. Oh, I've been waiting all flippin' day for this.
what his purpose was when directing the Superman movie, you could imagine multiple answers, some more outlandish than others.
Okay.
Is he writing a god? A hero?
That was not because of him.
A friend? Telling an origin? Or just getting him ready for the next movie? I'll let you decide on that one. While James Gunn, on the other hand, had his purpose clear from the start, showing humanity.
But there's this playfulness about Superman. This when he's saving a cat, he's got that wry smile.
Bye, Frisky.
I'm glad that he recognized what it was about Christopher Reeve that was so beloved. I do wish that he would have taken the Clark Kent secret identity more seriously. Clark wasn't different enough. Clark should be a radically different person from Superman. Otherwise, it's not a disguise so much as it is a way for him to get down with humanity. Because let's face it, though he is human, he's still flying over the city. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can relate to that. So it's something that he can get down and he can investigate and he can get close with those humans and be among them in a way that really sees their true hearts, especially since he acts so stupid. It lets him see the true hearts of people around him.
Film wasn't an origin story or a cosmic level battle. It was a rather grounded story that showed us a human Superman, giving us, the fans, hope. Wait, what's
Love that scene.
Oh, what about the other projects? Well, Guardians is a movie about family, whether it's building one, breaking one, or cherishing the one you have while letting go of the one you've lost. The Suicide Squad is a movie about trust. Do you trust your friends?
Would you eat your friends?
Your government? Harley Quinn? Please don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Stop the cap.
Creature Commandos is all about acceptance. To the fact that sure, you might be a monster.
I want to know if you guys agree with his diagnosis here of how each one of these focuses are. Is Creature Commandos about acceptance? Is Suicide Squad about trust? Is Superman about... What'd he say? I should have been paying attention to most there.
On the outside. And if you're a monster on the inside too, then great. But it is you who decides how to deal with that fact. And finally,
Okay.
Peacemaker is a show about redemption. Coming from a character that slowly finds out that maybe peace doesn't necessarily have to be achieved by any means necessary.
Eat peace, mother.
And that everyone can be a hero, including you, me, and James Gunn.
I can?
Wait, what? There's a secret
And you
weapon
can
that
too?
Gunn uses that I haven't told you about, and it might just be as important as any of the other ones. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a superhero movie and said to yourself, I could do that better than him? If you have, then the answer might depend on which movie we're talking about. The point is, a part of James Gunn's writing and directing style is based on this one idea. Why? Because he's a fan, just like any of us. And although he doesn't think he's better than any director, he truly cares, together with actors like Korner and Cena, about every little detail about the characters and their story. That can go from making a comic-accurate suit.
You can have something as ridiculous as this. This coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
To bringing the perfect version of each superhero to life. He mostly writes anti-heroes, you know that, right? Oh, sure. Wanna know about the one trait that defines every superhero?
So what I want to know, guys, is if you think this guy is doing a good, fair analysis of how James Gunn gets you to like characters in his movies so much, or is it just a gun bro who is, just gonna like anything he does? Because I'm just not a director guy. I don't get that involved in this stuff, guys. I really can't tell. I think the stuff he said made sense, but I haven't seen half the stuff he's talking about. I haven't seen Peacemaker. I haven't seen Suicide Squad. I haven't seen Creature Commandos. I'm a Superman guy. I want to see Superman-focused stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be about him. So, anyways, let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out my Amazon store or to watch one of these videos right here.